Hey everyone, welcome to another episode, Matt with Erlene and the Automotive Truth. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, we wanted to take a moment and say thank you. Our mission is to encourage those working in the industry, looking to start in the industry, or even the consumer buying in the industry. We want to help. Hey, it's Matt from Matt with Erlene and the Automotive Truth. You ever think about starting a podcast? We did. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record, edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can hear it on Spotify, Apple, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast. Go to anchor.fm.com or go to the App Store. Download Anchor and get started today. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode, Matt with Erlene and the Automotive Truth. This is part 2 of Sink or Swim. I am Matt Pollard.
I'm Erlene Pollard.
And we have a guest, our little daughter, home from the Air Force.
Woo! Hi.
Last day, she goes back tomorrow morning. Today's
8
Friday.
days, 8 short days.
Yeah. She spent more time with her friends than us.
It's okay. I'm trying to see everybody like a chick with her head cut off.
Yeah, poor thing. Trying to fit 30 days worth of stuff in 4.
Luna missed her so much.
Yeah.
Luna went crazy when she realized who she was because she didn't recognize her for the first couple of seconds, right?
Yeah, she was barking at her.
She was growling at me. I was like, wait, it's me. Until I started talking. It's just because of my uniform. Like, she's not. And also the fact that, like, I don't smell the same because I've been around different people.
That's true.
And, like, I haven't been wearing my normal perfume. So I smell a lot different.
You had a hat on, too.
Yeah. I just look different. And so she was, like, growling at me. I was like, hey.
Yeah, she was like, who's that?
So, part 2 of Sink or Swim.
Yeah, we wanted to get some of Felicity's takes on the topic.
Yeah, her road and her experience from graduating from Emmett O'Brien, which is a technical school, her electrical experience was kind of leading her to. Go ahead and talk about it, Faye. Tell us, what was the road that led you?
The road traveled.
Well, I guess like how my mom had said that I had went to a trade school and I took electrical and residential electrical, which is like working in houses. But I knew that was something I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. I enjoyed it very much, but I was just like, I don't see myself doing this for forever. I didn't even do it as a regular job. I didn't even I was going to do solar panels, but then I was like, nah, because first and foremost, I just want to be happy with what I'm doing. So I was like, I don't see myself.
That's it, folks.
Yes.
That's it. Be happy in what you're doing.
So I don't see myself doing that. So then kind of took a gap year after high school and worked. And I like to work, so I was just chilling, working. And then then I went to, I got it from Dad.
We said that before, actually.
And so I ended up going to college for a semester for electronic engineering because I thought, maybe it'd be easy for me to understand circuitry and everything of that nature, just easily transition. And I was not wrong, but I wasn't fully correct because it was super hard.
Yeah.
And I was going to school full time, and I was working part time because
Yeah.
I had a scholarship, so that required me to go to school full time. So I was taking 5 classes, and engineering is very difficult. So I just felt like when I had it, I didn't have it. Like when I thought I understood it, I didn't get it.
Yeah, it was tough.
So then from there.
Then from there, I quit college. I remember the day I called my dad, and I was crying because I knew I failed my first final. I was like, oh, this is not for me. I could not. I kid you not. We had a cheat sheet for a page, front and back. And I missed one equation, and I couldn't answer 10 questions.
Wow.
And so I gave up, and I said, I handed in the paper to the professor, and she was like, you finished? I said, ma'am, I answered everything I could. walked out and I was bawling my eyes out. And I said, Dad, I can't do this. Like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't even like it like that to be suffering. Like, I was by myself all the time, too. Like, my parents worked, my brother worked. So I would come home by myself, leave to work by myself, go to work by myself, come home, everybody sleep by myself, do homework by myself, go to class by myself. And so then I quit college and realized that that wasn't for me. And I was like, this sucks. So I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with my life now. So, yeah, and so then I talked to my grandma one day, and she was like, "Why don't you join the military?" And that was one thing that I never ever thought I would do because I was like, military. Like my idea of the military was so finite because like I think of everybody thinks of the military like you're on the front line shooting a gun, and you're gonna die. So I didn't.
That's what mommy thought.
Yeah, I was really ignorant to like what the military was, so therefore I didn't like. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, and quick question. It wasn't even a thought. No one even in our family that I know of. Well, my cousin's daughter, Junito's daughter, yeah, Ashley. She was in the army. Yeah. But nobody like our parents or grandparents or anybody from Puerto Rico, anybody in our family, even went to the military. The only person that was somewhat interested in was your best friend. Talk about that.
Yeah, so
ROTC, right?
She was in ROTC.
ROTC.
So one of my best friends that we've been friends since second grade, and her name's Jada.
Jada Ella.
And so she was actually in ROTC for Air Force ROTC in high school when we were younger.
Yeah.
And so she's also part of the reason why I joined the Air Force because I was like, Jada joined the Air Force and like you weigh out the options. Like the Marines is very hardcore. They have like a long like basic training, and they're very physical. As so is the Army. Like if there's any two branches that are like more likely to be on the front line, it is the Marines and the Army.
Yeah.
Like that is who's legit fighting, like fighting. The Air Force is really like technological and like. I was like, okay, that seems more like down my alley.
Yeah.
And you would never catch me in the Navy because I would never be on a ship for months on end because you're crazy. So I was like, all right, Air Force it is. So Jada was definitely an inspiration for me joining the Air Force.
She did competitions, a lot of competitions in high school.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we used to go to the Memorial Day parade and see her march, and so we thought for sure that. And we were always encouraged, Jada. I can't wait to see you, in your full uniform, and and then the tables turned. It was
Felicity, to be our kid.
Yeah, and Felicity was the one who ended up taking that step, and Jada is actually becoming a nurse. Yeah.
She wants to become a nurse. She really still wants to join the military, but it's unfortunate because there's so many things that are disqualifying factors. So she has asthma for such a long time, so that's something that like is automatically disqualifying. But she's trying her best to go and do a test to see if her asthma is still affecting her to this day because she hasn't had it affected in a long time.
Yeah, and as she grows, you become your lungs develop, your body develops.
Right. So she says if she passes that test and she gets the clear, that she's gonna join.
Well, we're gonna pray. We're gonna pray, and we're gonna make things happen, right?
She really wants to join. Her goal is like to work in the medical field in the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, and Jada's very driven. She is a dynamic young lady. These two girls grew up together, and they are just.
Go-getters.
Yeah, go-getters. Yep. Exactly, go-getters. The moment they were able to get working papers, they were out there working. They were getting their own money, and they're these young ladies are very they're dynamic. They're wonderful.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah,
they're wonderful because I remember me at that age. I don't think I was so eager to be out there and
Oh yeah, I was working.
I was out in the streets doing other things. But anyway, we're proud of you, Fee. We're proud of everything that you've done and what you become. And Felicity's very artistic.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. She has a hand for art. We
got little paintings all over the house.
Yep.
It's so cool.
Yep. She paints, she draws, that's another way that you were gonna go too. You were gonna go wanted to do some kind of artistic stuff. Talk about that.
Yeah. So after before I went to college, before I went to Monster Valley, before I was going to go for cosmetology. I went to do special effects makeup because I really enjoy doing makeup. I still enjoy doing it, but like I was guess this little phase that I went through that like I bought like face paint type kit. It was like expensive.
Yeah.
And I like to do like different looks and stuff. And it was super cool until then I was like, okay, well, eventually I got bored with it. And I'm like, okay, well, now what? Like, because like, and basically in that field, you have to have connections. Like, you have to know people who know people to like get to the top. Like, that's basically how the arts kind of works.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know people who know people to get to the top. Like, especially like in music and anything like that. Like, you have to know people. It's hard to get
Especially
connections.
in the movie industry.
Yeah, so I was just like, yeah, I guess whatever. And then after that's when I went to college, and after college, I was like, no, it's not for me. So then, military.
A lot of no, that's not for me. Nope, that's not for me. You gotta find your way.
And that goes back to what we were saying, that you have to be invested.
Yeah.
So she wasn't invested mentally or physically in those situations. And that's what brought her to where she is now.
Yeah.
Right? Is that so?
Yeah, definitely. I just felt like there's no point in me doing something that I just was like, what am I doing? Especially in college. Like, what am I doing here? I don't even like it that much. I wasn't passionate about it enough for me to continue doing something that's going to stress me out. At least when I go into the military, like, I'm super stressed out. I mean, at that point, you don't have really a choice after you sign a contract. But, I mean, like, at least I'm passionate enough because I know I have friends and family who are pushing me and, like, I want to travel and I want to do something that's hands-on. And I want to feel confident and like proud of something that I'm doing. So it's like everything in one that I ever wanted. I was like, okay, like sounds like a deal for me.
Yeah, I want everything in one page. And once you get through boot camp, that's the test of the test, right?
Yeah, that's the hard part. Like boot camp's the really hard part. Like really, the military is really not like the principles of boot camp is really what you need to learn, but like the environment is not the same. Like nobody's yelling at you 24/7 because they expect you to be an adult and they just want to talk to you because obviously like they want you to be able to work in a stressful environment, but not all the time are you going to be working in a stressful environment. You want to be able to talk to you like a normal person so you can do your job correctly.
Yes.
But they know that because you went through basic training, you are capable of working in a stressful environment. Like so
that's it. That's the test.
I just can't. The life skills that teaches you is just amazing in such a short period of time. It's crazy.
7.5 weeks.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It sets you up for a lot of things.
I'm amazed. I'm just amazed that you got through it and got through it with flying colors.
Oh
like,
yeah.
You're amazed? I'm amazed.
I know.
Heck, I was the one who was there getting screamed at.
And you just took it like a champ.
Yeah, I mean,
terrible.
And you did it though. I mean, you did it, and you did it well.
And you had relationships with your leaders.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And you made friends.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Training.
I made one friend.
Training camp.
Technical school.
Tech school was where your friendships were made.
Oh yeah, tech school, because tech school is a lot more chill because like now you're there. Like the first day I got to tech school, I was telling my parents that I thought it was a joke. Like I thought it was a prank. Like everybody when they first get there says they think it's a joke because you come there and it's like you get off the bus and you got people being nice to you, giving you candy and water bottles and like keep in mind during basic training we didn't eat candy. The only type of candy that we got was a protein bar.
Or cough drops.
Or cough drops. Yeah. That's the only thing that we got to eat that was quote unquote candy. Or if we got candies in our MRE, that was literally it. And so for us to get off, they're like, someone's gonna yell at us. Like the MTI's gonna come up from behind this bus and scream at us for getting this candy right now. And they're like, and they tell us like, it's not a prank, it's not a joke.
Tell people what MREs are. People might not know what MREs.
They're meals ready to eat. So
yeah, 341.
So meals ready to eat. So basically, it's like what military personnel eat on deployments. Like so, they're like they're literally like 3,000 calories because they're meant to last you an entire day, like a day of food. So it's got like naturalness, got like protein shakes. Like, you can literally buy them online. Like, Larry said he bought one and he ate one and he would want to try it.
Oh, right.
And they're actually good. Like, we got excited to eat them because like, it's cool. Like we're all outside and we're eating. Like,
they're not that bad.
They're not that bad. Actually, there's some that are like okay. Like the tuna one is like I wasn't happy to get that, but there are ones that are good. Like usually they're very like chili beef, like stewish type ones. These are like chili-ish, and they have like tortillas, and you're able to put them in there. But like when you heat them up and like eat them, like it's wrap. So they're with cookies and stuff in it. And like
back to the candy stuff. I remember watching this when Felicity first had left to boot camp. I was watching a lot of videos about, because I didn't know what was going on, and we only spoke to her like once a week, and
if that,
yeah,
3 weeks for the first phone call,
right, and so she, I didn't know a lot about what was happening, and I was trying to like read her every time she would call to see if she was really okay, but anyway, so I watched a lot of YouTube videos about girls that were, had done boot camp and their experiences, and one of the girls was talking about how they would, during one was having a birthday during while she was at boot camp, and all the girls got together because of the lack of candy and sweets. All the girls got together and took their peanut butter packets and made like a little gift bag and gave the girl gave that girl her for her birthday peanut butter. She was like, it was the most amazing thing because like peanut butter was like so scarce or so something that was sweet and
cool.
And considered a treat, and so it was really cool.
And they sacrificed their sweet for her.
Exactly, for her birthday.
Lucky they didn't get caught. They would have got yelled at.
They did it on the dome.
Yeah, they must have done it on the
It was probably after BMT on their way to tech school.
Yeah, she was actually telling the story while she was in her dorm at tech school.
Yeah. It's probably in that transition.
Yeah.
So what was your first thought of BMT?
I tell everybody like the first day was like terrifying. Like I don't remember much from the first week because like I think my brain actually blocked it out. That's how scary it was. Like the first day, we got off the bus and like I had this big luggage, but like it had wheels on it, but like I couldn't use the wheels because they told us we had to carry it. So I was so annoyed and I was like, bro, what the heck? So I had to carry that thing. And then they gave us this backpack and they told us to put it on the front. And there's like all these people like that have, I believe, are tech schoolers, and they put like stuff in our bags and like good luck, all the things that we need. And we're like, oh, man, here we go, like. And so I'm going to the dorms and they just start screaming. They just start screaming like for no reason. Just like I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like they're telling us to stand in a position of attention at like that's all we know how to do at that one point is stand in a position of attention at a wall because we're terrified. And I'm like shaking, like they're screaming at me. I don't like to be yelled at. I still to this day don't like to be yelled at. Like that doesn't make it any better. But and they're like screaming at us and like I was, oh man, I cried the first day. Like I bawled because they knew my name. And I was trying to go through without them knowing my name, but they knew my name already because I was bawling my eyes out and I couldn't get that stupid key on the chain. So yeah. So that was great. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, bro.
And you did it.
Yeah. That was the worst. That was the worst day. It was the first 2 weeks that were the worst.
Yeah.
We were able to write her on this app. And I'd always be like, just let them yell. They're not going to lay their hands on you. Just trying to keep her encouraged.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's tough.
I don't want to think about it. She sucks.
Yeah.
So with her saying that, like, so she, we talked about friends and family episodes when she was working for me, but like that changed me as a manager because how I communicated with her, and I have to learn people's personalities and how I have to treat everybody. Like when I first got in, like the shop foreman position, like I ran the shop and I would yell and scream because that's how I was talked to from a manager.
Yeah.
And I thought that's how you did it. You prove your authority. And then I had to start learning to just talk to people and communicate with people on their level.
Yeah, exactly.
And it actually works better instead of
and
yelling.
And some people do learn with screaming and yelling, unfortunately.
Yeah, you gotta know who to lay it into.
Yeah. Some people do learn that way. Well, Fiba, we're mega proud of you. I mean, it's crazy. Now she's off to her first assignment in Arizona, where it's like 120 degrees
during the summertime, it'd be gas, and then right now it's like 60 to 70 degrees because it's wintertime right now. So it's actually a good temperature. So I'm glad I'm going through the wintertime because I actually was reading up about my base is in Tucson, and I was actually reading up on Tucson. They said like it's literally like sunny 365 like all year long,
Yeah, that's
sunny.
beautiful.
They basically like it's like it basically skip over winter because they don't it doesn't snow over there, and but like they do it doesn't really rain either, but like it rains like it's like 2 weeks out of the year, something like that.
Oh wow!
And then when it does, it like downpours, and like people like love it. People go outside and like start dancing in the rain,
Oh
like
wow!
because like it's like they appreciate the rain because they don't get it a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow!
Wow.
I can't wait to visit. Never
I
been to
know.
Arizona. I can't wait to visit.
Might open up
I've
our
seen
own Lexus Toyota specialist
I
shop.
got to see a cactus for the first time. I've seen
Yeah.
cactus.
Other than seeing it at Home Depot or something.
Or in mommy's
Yeah,
terrariums.
actually see it. A cactus.
In my
A
terrarium.
real live, like big one. It'll be
So
exciting for
cool.
like 5 seconds.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Dad?
Do you think the Air Force is good for young girls to start, or an in for females to get into the military? Do you think that's a better branch?
It's hard to say because right now, like, I'm not like that, like, deep into the Air Force yet. Like, I'm like a baby in the Air Force right now. So, like, haven't started my career as of yet, but I can say that, like, based on what other people have said, that, like, that I think there's way more females in the Air Force as opposed to other branches, maybe like the Army. But I know that, like, other females get. I heard from other females who I have had friends in the Army, and like that they get treated different, like in the Army or like whatever, because it's more physical, and so they expect that the girls are not going to do as well. So like they get treated differently being females in the Army or the Marines because it's a
Really?
more like like a this is where like
Tougher.
yeah like a I don't even know how to explain it. Like they're just like more like physical, yeah. So they think like the girls aren't going to be as well. Whatever.
Gotcha.
So like yeah, but like the Air Force as of right now, like I'm it's okay. Like I mean, you still see it from time to time where like it's a like thing that you just kind of have to accept, like being a female going into a male dominated thing, and just they're always gonna underestimate.
Or into anything for that matter. You know, the world we live in, it's just that's what it is.
They're gonna underestimate you, and I've seen it plenty of times. Like I'll give you an example. When I was in my class, I was given the position as class leader, and I was the only female in my class.
Yes, go ahead and talk.
And they were all dudes, and so I remember I had this conversation with one of my friends from class at the end of tech school after we graduated, and I said, bro, like I know for a fact that if I was a guy, you guys would have treated me a lot differently. Like you guys would have respected me more because it would have been like a bro to bro thing, as opposed to me talking to you, telling you to do things. You think I'm nagging to you, or think I'm trying to come at you, which is that's not the case. And he was like, no, I don't think it's like. I was like, nah, bro. Like, don't come with me, because I know that if I was a guy, it would have been a lot different how you approach me and how I would have told you things. Because as a female, you just think I'm nagging to you, and I'm not.
Yeah.
And so they didn't respect me and they didn't like me, but it is what it is. It did bother me because it doesn't feel good when your entire class isn't like you, or they're questioning your character, thinking that she's so stuck up, or she's so uptight. But like in reality, when I'm like not in the classroom, like I could care less what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
You see me, I'm outgoing and I'm doing whatever I do, but I let them know, like, listen, when you're in this uniform and in this classroom, it's a certain way you gotta act.
That's it.
So I don't know what to tell you, and so
you're holding up the law, the rules.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, and so like you just automatically get a bad rep. But like they definitely didn't respect me or like me. He was like, I was like, they didn't respect me or like. He's like, yeah, they didn't like you, and they probably didn't respect you. I was like, yeah. I was like, I noticed. Pretty much noticed that.
I just tell everybody, if I had feelings, I would care, but I don't feel.
He does. He does have feelings, and he cares.
I have feelings for these two girls. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's hard, in a male dominated world.
Yeah, even in the auto business. I remember they would cut female service advisors' salary because they're female. And I'm like, well, if she can do the job just as, she's probably better than a dude. So
and it still happens. It's just what it is. You were talking about the army, the women in the army, and or in the Marines, and it's more of a brawn.
That's the word.
Yeah, brawn. And
like
then,
goons. They're like goons.
Yeah, like it's a brawny type of field
Branch,
or whatever
yeah.
branch, and Air Force is more like a brainy.
More of a brainy.
Brawny versus brainy. I mean, I don't know much about. I'm not, I'm just saying.
No, it definitely is brawny versus brain. Like for instance, we had Marines inside of our dorm. Like I cannot tell you, I just like no respect to Marines, all respect to the Marines, but I cannot tell you. Like also, this is for side note, this is coming from me, Felicity, not at, like just Felicity Radios, not me as Airman Basic Radios. Put that out there. Like it's not me representing the Air Force. It's just me like talking as myself.
Right.
But like the Marines, for some reason, like it's just like they would just do really questionable things.
Those guys that were there.
They questionable not why isn't like sus, but like questionable as in like why are you doing the things that you're doing? Because it's just like it just seems so like simple and plain to us that we're just like, why would you do that? Like one of the Marines got yelled at because he was climbing a tree in uniform. Like why are you climbing a tree? I don't know. Like
brawn versus
they're unique individuals.
An Air Force, I believe he was a sergeant, was in his truck. He saw him, he pulled over, and came out, and like the Marine standing at the position of attention, he just screamed out, "Why are you climbing a tree? You're in uniform!" Oh, I was like, we're just standing there like, Marines, man. It's what it is. Couldn't be us. Like, I just don't understand. Like, it's like crazy because they just came from basic just as we did. We're just like, what did you learn? I'm confused. Like, or they'll like walk out. Like, we're taught. Like, I know every branch is taught this, and so I don't understand. Like, you walk out, and you shouldn't be taking more than 10 paces before you put your cover on.
Okay.
And so they walking out, and they're just standing outside without their cap on, just like chilling outside, hands in their pockets. That's a big no. That's just disrespectful. And they're just standing out there, pockets. And again, I'm just no disrespect to the Marines, but I'm just like those specific Marines. I was just like, what are they doing? I don't really know.
You just want to smack them in the back.
Yeah, I was talking to Terrence one time, and he was telling me, he's like, I yelled at another one of my Marines.
Terrence was her first boyfriend, by the way, who I love very much. But go ahead.
He's also a Marine. He's on a ship currently.
He's a Marine,
but he's like different from Marines I've ever met because he's not like what do you call it?
Well, Terrence is he's very smart.
He's smart. He's not really brawn. He could be brawn.
He could, but he's brainy.
Yeah, he is brainy brawn. But he was telling me that he yelled at one of his Marines for like putting his hands in his pockets. He was like, I hate that so much because he knows it's just disrespectful. Like you shouldn't. It's just like you should be acting professional. No one's gonna stand there with your hands in your pockets.
Yeah. But and they don't use umbrellas either.
They don't use umbrellas.
No.
Back to Terrence.
Oh my God! Here we go.
I love Terrence. Terrence was Felicity's first boyfriend that she brought home, and he actually went to the military right out of high school. Right? He went out right out of high school.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much out of high school. They went to Emmett O'Brien Technical School together. And he was in medical.
Health tech,
yeah.
For medical,
yeah.
But he's not in medical anymore.
No, yeah. I'm just saying what he took over. And he was on her track team. And he was on the football team. So he was very athletic, very, very smart kid. Very, very. And his mother comes from a very good family. He's actually a twin. Right?
Yeah.
Both him and his brother
are both Marines. Yeah.
Both Marines. Yeah. Anyways, that was a side note because I love Terrence. Anything else, Dad?
Leadership skills.
What does he tell me regarding leadership skills? I feel like in boot camp I learned leadership skills basically by watching other people, or seeing, like, for instance, my dorm chief or, like, seeing my student leaders and, like, kind of empathizing with them because of, like, how people would give them a lot of crap because they didn't like the way they did certain things. And, like, they would be like, oh, I don't like her because she does this or she does that. And, like, I gotta empathize with them because I was like, you have to understand that, like, they're trying to do what they're being told by their supervisor, but at the same time, they're trying to accommodate with their fellow peers. And so it's super, I noticed that. I was like, oh, that must be really difficult. That's why I try not to give them a lot of crap because I was like, you gotta understand, like it can't be easy. Like the MCIs are telling them one thing to do one thing, and then they know that they're gonna get hate from the other girls because they have to be they're put in a position of authority by these people, and it wasn't their choice. So I was like, you have to understand that. And
it's their job.
It's their job. But I noticed being in that position myself in tech school that it's some people just don't realize that it's just a job, and some people just for a lot of words just become haters. Like they really just become haters, and you're just like, dag, like I'm really not trying to come at you. I'm really not trying to be rude, but like
just doing my job.
I'm just doing my job. But it did make me realize that like there are times I have to check myself the way I'm speaking to people, and that like my dad had said that there's different people who require different amount of attention. Like one of the other kids in my class was like really suffering in regards to like and not academics, because he just really doubted himself. It was really confidence that he like really just felt like he was dumb, but he did well academic wise.
Yeah.
So sometimes like he required a little bit more attention than the other people in the class did because like he was different. So I realized that I had to talk to him differently than other people. Like some of my friends, I could joke around with hardcore and be very blunt. To him, I couldn't because I knew it would hurt his feelings. So I realized that as a leader, I was like, okay, like there's certain ways I have to approach people because they're gonna take it to heart.
That's awesome, Felicity. That's really awesome.
Yeah,
that's a true leader.
Absolutely.
How does it feel representing the United States of America?
I definitely could say that, like, the national anthem is, I remember Tanton told me that. He's like, after you finish boot camp, that the flag's going to mean something different to you.
Yep.
And the national anthem's going to be a little bit different to you. So, like, it's really cool, like, being able to stand in uniform. Like, you wear it with pride. Like, you wear it with pride and being able to salute. It's, like, it's really cool. It just feels like you feel good. It's like, whoa, I can't believe we did this. Like, I'm standing here, bro.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it that she's so proud of it. I remember you told me, Felicity, you said to me, Ma, I remember when I first got there, and we were singing the song, and I'm starting to sing the Airmen song or something like that, and you thought to yourself, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? What? Oh my God, what did I do? And then you came to the very end of boot camp, and you were singing the song, and you said to me, Ma, but I was singing that song and I was so proud and I believed what I sung. Man, that rung in my head and in my heart, like wow, so cool. she believes and she believes in what she was singing. You know, she was so proud. And at the beginning, she was like, why am I here? Well, like she couldn't even get through the song. You know, it was
she swam.
It was a proud moment, to hear her say that I believe what I see. It's like when we go to church. Can I compare it to when you go to church? You know, when I go to church and I praise God and I'm standing in front of the altar, in the pulpit, and I'm raising up my hands and when I'm singing because I believe it, and I believe what God and who God is, and so it just makes me appreciate it more. When you believe something, when you really, really believe in something, it's just the pride and the love for it. It's just it's just so big in your life that it's amazing. Yes. It's amazing. Believe in something.
Invest yourself in something.
Yeah.
All right, this was awesome.
Awesome.
She leaves tomorrow. Gonna miss her.
Yeah.
Please 5-star reviews. Like the podcast. Share the podcast.
Yes, share our Gupppy.
Our Gupppy. I didn't know what that was.
She's swimming. She's swimming. A Gupppy is a baby fish, for those who don't know.
She's swimming.
Yeah.
She's at the top of her game.
Yeah.
Only going to get bigger.
Yeah, we thank God. To God be the glory for great things he has done in our lives and in my daughter's lives and the things that he's doing. I praise God.
Yes. Let him cover you and all that you do.
His face shine upon him.
Yeah, we just wanted to do a quick episode before she left so she can see what mom and dad do. Their side hustle. All right, we thank everyone. Please subscribe, share, leave a review. It means a lot to us. We really appreciate you listening. Thank you for making the boss lady, the #1 episode.
Oh yeah, thank you for that.
So why don't we kick that one's butt with this one?
Yes.
Get out there and listen. Like, subscribe, share. All right, we're out.
Bye.